Do your family vacations feel more exhausting than relaxing? Before you leave, there's all this planning and packing. And then once you get there, you can't unwind. Your family's having a great time, but you're stressed. You've had a fight with your partner and you keep thinking, why can't I just enjoy myself? Today, I'm talking about why vacations can be so hard on the ADHD brain. Before the trip, while on the road, and once you make it to your destination. And I'll go over 5 practical strategies for managing the mental load, staying organized, protecting your relationships, and actually having a good time. This is ADHD where we talk about everyday life and ADHD. I'm your host, Dr. J. I'm a licensed psychologist who works with those with ADHD. If summer vacations leave you feeling less than refreshed, this episode is for you. So let's talk about why family vacations are so hard for folks with ADHD. Vacations are supposed to be fun. That's like the whole point. But for a lot of people with ADHD, and especially women, a family trip can feel more stressful than a week at the office. That's because travel is basically a multi-day test for your executive function skills. And ADHD can run in families. So if you have it, your kids may too. Which means multiple people trapped in close quarters, struggling at the exact same time. But don't worry, you can do this. To start, let's talk about some of the ADHD symptoms that make vacations difficult. Let's start before we even leave for the trip. First, decision fatigue and planning paralysis. Planning a vacation requires an almost comical number of decisions. Where are we going? Who's booking the flights? Is this Airbnb actually as charming as the photos suggest? And the stakes feel impossibly high. For example, this may be your one big trip, and it has to be perfect. That pressure can lead to decision fatigue, the degradation in decision quality as your cognitive resources get depleted. For the ADHD brain, this hits faster and harder. The result? You research 12 Airbnbs, have strong feelings about 3 of them, wait too long, and they're all gone. This isn't laziness, it's a planning and initiation problem. Now let's get into working memory failures. Working memory, which is your brain's ability to hold and use information in the moment, is one of the most consistently documented impairments in ADHD. Research consistently shows it is one of the most affected domains. In travel terms, this is how you book your flights for the wrong dates, or think that you confirmed the hotel, but you're actually not sure. You're holding more information than your working memory can reliably manage, and things slip through. Next is the passport situation. ADHD is also associated with deficits in prospective memory, which is remembering to do something at a future point in time. This shows up in everyday life, not just in lab settings. In practical terms, this is how you find yourself searching every corner in your house for everyone's passport at 11 p.m. when you know you have a 6 a.m. flight the next day. We've all been there. That's an oh shit talkie mushroom moment. Now let's shift into what happens while you're en route. First up is time perception issues. One of the hallmarks of ADHD is time perception issues. This is the difficulty to accurately perceive and estimate time. Research on ADHD and time perception consistently find that people with ADHD underestimate elapsed time and struggle to gauge how long things will take. The ADHD brain essentially lives in 2 time zones, now and not now, which is why departure times can feel genuinely surprising even when you've known about them for weeks. The result is you make it to your gate with 4 minutes to spare, heart rate through the roof, already starting your vacation in fight or flight mode. Or you leave your 6-hour road trip as the sun starts to set because somehow the afternoon just disappeared. Now I want to talk about sensory overload. Airports and airplanes are sensory environments that would challenge most people. For those with ADHD, the challenge is amplified. A 2025 meta-analysis examining 30 studies and over 5,000 participants found that individuals with ADHD experience significantly higher sensitivity compared to controls around sound, smell, touch, and light. What does that mean on a plane? The fluorescent lights, the recycled air, the crying baby 3 rows up, the person next to you who absolutely bathes in cologne, all of it registering more intensely in your nervous system than it does for the average traveler. Okay, now let's talk about what happens once you get to your destination. First up is sleep problems. Even at home, in your own bed, sleep can already be a struggle with ADHD. A 2025 review found that sleep disturbances affect up to 80% of adults and 82% of children with ADHD. The most common pattern is delayed circadian rhythm. Your body clock runs late. Melatonin onset is delayed by about 45 minutes in kids with ADHD and 90 minutes in adults compared to their neurotypical peers. Now, add a different time zone, an unfamiliar bed, jet lag, and a hotel room that lets in light at 6 a.m. Sleep gets worse. And when sleep gets worse, every ADHD symptom gets worse. It can be a compounding loop that can take down the whole trip if you don't plan for it. Next, I'm going to talk about routine loss and flexibility demands. Travel, by definition, strips away the routines and structures that help manage ADHD symptoms. And it replaces that with constant unpredictability. Canceled flights, weather changes, restaurants that are fully booked. Every disruption demands flexible, adaptive problem solving, which draws on the exact prefrontal cortex resources that ADHD compromises. The result? Small disruptions that other people shrug off land as genuine overwhelm for someone with ADHD. And when you're already dysregulated from poor sleep and sensory exhaustion, you snap at the people who are closest to you. Not because you don't love them, because you don't have anything left. Now I want to talk about restlessness. The ADHD brain is a novelty-seeking brain. PET imaging studies from 2009 and 2010 found that the dopamine reward system functions differently in people with ADHD. It is less efficient at generating a reward response to ordinary moderate stimulation. The system is not broken, but the threshold for interesting enough to pay attention to runs higher than a neurotypical person. And when your brain is screaming for stimulation and options are limited, impulse control degrades. You spend significantly more money than you planned because vacation math feels fake. You have one too many pina coladas because at least something is happening. Again, that's not a character flaw, it's a brain chemistry problem. This is all hard enough, but I want to name something specifically for women with ADHD. Research consistently shows that women disproportionately carry the mental load of family life, the invisible cognitive labor of managing schedules, logistics, and everyone's needs. Qualitative research documents the substantial burden this creates, particularly in households where ADHD is present. For a woman with ADHD herself, this is a double bind. You're managing your own executive function deficits while simultaneously being expected to be the keeper of all the knowledge for everyone else. You're the one who remembers the sunscreen and the passports and that your youngest can't eat shellfish and that your partner's return flight was accidentally booked on the wrong day. When something falls through, and something will, you feel like it's a personal failure. That's not fair, and it's worth naming before you even pack a bag. So let's look at 5 strategies for staying on top of your ADHD symptoms so you can actually enjoy your holiday. Make a plan before you plan. If you're traveling with other adults, have a planning meeting weeks or months in advance. Share the labor explicitly. Who is booking the flights? Who's handling passports? Who's managing the budget? If you need a slow morning routine, say so before your partner schedules a 6 a.m. hike every single day. Number 2 is to externalize everything. Working memory is limited. Shared documents are not. Create one itinerary that all the adults can access and edit. Add every confirmation number, every check-in time, every reservation. Screenshots too. Don't trust yourself to find the email confirmation later. And as I always say, be your future self's best friend. She will certainly thank you. Number 3 is to build reusable packing lists. Make a packing list by category and reuse it every single trip. Specific enough that you're not making decisions the night before. And you also want to include a sensory kit, noise-canceling headphones, an eye mask, whatever your nervous system needs in overwhelming environments. Put it on your list so you don't have to remember it late at night. If you have a prescription for ADHD medication and don't take it every day, consider bringing it. Travel is exactly the kind of high demand situation where having the option matters. Number 4 is to build in buffer time. Overscheduling is a vacation killer for ADHD families. Leave space between activities. Plan at least one low-structured day early in the trip. If your kids have ADHD, they'll need decompression time after stimulating days. This isn't lowering the bar, this is protecting the vacation. Number 5 is to plan a trip that you'll actually enjoy. Now, this is obvious in theory, but it's rarely applied in practice. If you know that sitting on a beach for 6 days with no activity sounds like torture, don't plan that trip. Compromise is necessary. Suffering is optional. Think about vacations that have actually worked for you and what made them good. Start there. Give yourself grace to work towards better and better vacations. Remember, family vacations can be complicated for everyone. You're spending way more time with your loved ones than you usually do, with a lot of moving parts to coordinate, and without the stability you get from home. All of this can be particularly difficult on the ADHD brain, but that doesn't mean you can't have an amazing time on your trip. With some strategies in place, you can come back from your family vacation feeling rested and renewed. Do you have a vacation strategy that's worked for you? What's your favorite type of vacation? Please share it in the comments because I'd love to hear from you. That's it for this episode of ADHD And. If this was helpful, check out our episode on ADHD and perfectionism. Many people think their family vacation needs to be perfect and feel let down when it's not. In that episode, I explore why folks with ADHD can feel like perfectionists, but may actually be experiencing a constellation of other symptoms, ones that you can address with practice. Thanks so much for joining me. Make sure to subscribe for more ADHD resources and support like this, and enjoy your trip.